Hi guys, welcome back. I have a fun thing for us to do today for all of us who love peanut butter and chocolate together, right? I mean, who doesn't love that? Well, these are a really fun and healthy and easy cookie that also happens to be gluten-free and flourless. And we're going to get right into it with our flaxseed, which is finely ground, but I'm going to run it through a little sieve right here to make it even more fine, basically. Just to make sure that we don't have any little husky things in there, just to make these cookies a little bit finer on the palate. Now into that is going to go our coconut sugar, and we're just going to stir that together right quickly just to make sure it's nice and incorporated before we begin to add our other ingredients. Okay, now into that is going to go 1.5 cups of peanut butter. I'm using the creamy, but if you guys like the crunchy, you can absolutely use that in this recipe. And guys, that full recipe with the amounts of all the ingredients will be in the recipe box below, okay? We're going to get the old mixer going here and get that blended in. All right, now with that blended, we're going to add our egg. And nice, one large room temperature egg. Okay. Doesn't have to be beaten because you're just going to beat it with the mixer, so it can go in just like that. All right, now we're ready to put these out on our baking sheet. Now guys, I'm going to put these out using my 1.5 inch scooper, putting these out on a Silpat lined baking sheet. If you don't have a Silpat liner, don't worry about it. Just put them right out. You might want to very, very lightly grease your baking sheet. Also, if you don't have one of these scoopers, don't worry about that either. Just get a couple of spoons out of your kitchen drawer, scoop out about this much, and roll them into a ball. And put them out on the baking sheet. And just make sure, guys, that your cookies are evenly spaced. Just like that. You're going to have 12 to a sheet. All right? And into a preheated 375 oven. And I have my racks spaced widely apart. So they're going to go in and they're going to bake. Now this is important. 10 minutes exactly. All right, so I'm going to set my timer for 10 minutes. And then at that 10-minute mark, I'll show you what we're going to do next. Okay, timer's gone off. All right. Okay, now take a little teaspoon measure, just like that, okay? One that's nice and round, not oblong. And go into your cookies and just press, just like that, right down in the center. And what we're doing here, guys, is we're just making a little well for the chocolate ganache to go in. All right, those are done. Okay, and you can see we have our nice little wells in all of our cookies. And these are going to go on a cooling rack to cool absolutely completely. And then we'll fill these little lovely wells with our chocolate ganache. Okay guys, our cookies are completely cooled. And our ganache that I made a little bit ahead of time, by the way guys, I'll have the recipe for the amounts and everything that I used in this. But if you need the technique, make sure you go back to the Sex by Chocolate Cake recipe. And I'll show you, it's so easy to make this homemade, so you can see the technique. Now I like to, for this recipe, I like to refrigerate the chocolate ganache so that it gives me the nice little mounds and it's instead of pouring it into the cookie. So I like to spoon it in. So we got our half of our recipes done, 12 of these cookies. I'm gonna do the other pan, but kind of gotta do a little taste test here, you know? I mean, peanut butter and chocolate. Oh, what's not to love? Mm. Oh, that's so good. What's amazing about these, you guys, you can't even tell there's no flour in these. You don't miss the flour. You don't miss anything. It's right there, and it's so good. Look at that. Nice little bite of chocolate and all that peanut butter goodness. Yum, yum, yum. You guys give this a try and let me know what you think about it, okay? I'm really excited to hear what you think when you make these at your house. So leave me a comment on that, okay? And as always, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do that. And we'll see you next time on Things Tina Does.